everybody is now on Boston for game 2. And the spread is even bigger than in game 1 at 9.5. And so the question is, Joe, okay, yes, we're probably all on the Celtics because we're expecting a long series. But my question is, at what point is this ridiculous as far as all of us being behind the C's?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It is. Did you feel that 8.5 was high? I didn't feel 8.5 was a true number. I thought that was inflated. And so now we're jumping to a higher number because Boston, desperate spot, they're not going to get swept at home. Doesn't mean they're going to cover the point spread. I mean, that's a wide range of outcomes. Yes, they can win and also not cover the spread. But it's fine because Joe Mazzulla kept telling us that they won 3 or 4 quarters. Joe, the final scoreboard is what matters. It really doesn't matter because you gave up 46 points. And as Aaron mentioned, you failed to call a timeout in the third quarter. Dude, that guy, his post-game pressers are highly entertaining. Like, he gets the bug eyes going. He will not stand for any, like, you can kind of pick up with certain writers what their storyline is going to be on their blog or in the paper the next morning. Or that night, and like he's like not having any. We were prepared. Nope. He's like trying to shut everything down. Like, dude, focus on what's happening in the game a little bit more than who cares about what Boston media narrative is going to be out there. We're coming off a plus 300 money line winner with the Heat. Let's talk about the Heat. And what's the first thing you heard? Playoff Jimmy. He's getting steals. 35 points. Looks like he's 100% healthy. We'll see. Is playoff Jimmy a thing? Butler says it's not a thing. He doesn't like it when people bring it up. And then if you look at the stats comparing regular season to postseason, well, of course it would make sense that his postseason stats are better because he's playing more minutes, because there isn't any sitting this game out, right? It is 100%. He's the kind of player, and most do, life on the line, doing everything you possibly can. Is playoff Jimmy a thing? Because I started to look at his career playoff stats, and I think some might be surprised that in Jimmy Butler's playoff career, including this year, he's averaging 21 points per game. We've seen his player prop this postseason at 30.5 points per game. Because this playoff Jimmy thing didn't start until the last couple of years. This year, he's averaging almost 32 points per game. Last year, it was over 27 points per game. But before that, is 5 years in Chicago, year in Minnesota, year in Philly, first 2 years in Miami. Nothing spectacular. He would top out at 22 points per game. And early in his career, it was in the teens. So, larger sample size. Is playoff Jimmy a real thing?
LeBron for a triple-double, that is, gosh, I'm seeing plus 950, 9-1.
Whoa, really?
I know, and he's like 1 off. He was 1 assist off, and the game before that, he was 1 rebound and 1 assist off.
Mm-hmm.
Don't they need LeBron to step up if they're going to do something, if they're going to win this game? Because who knows what's going to happen with the starting lineup. Denver is big. I think they need Rui back. Like, why would you pivot and get away from what worked? At least get him in the starting lineup. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, but maybe that's too obvious to the Nuggets. But I think LeBron triple-double is really interesting. I love it.
I bet the Dodgers, I think, at minus 148 this morning, and also their team total at over 4.5, minus 122. I mean, this is pretty much what we're getting from Urias. I think his Sierra has been like 364 or 365 now for the last 3 years. And I think Wainwright is kind of cooked or getting pretty close to getting cooked. He's getting even fewer swings and misses so far this year, and he really doesn't have the ground ball pitch going either. So I don't really know how he's going to get outs. I am a little nervous about the Dodgers bullpen. They've pitched a ton the last couple of days with Dustin May getting injured yesterday, I think in the first or second inning, and then Kershaw only going 4 or 5 the day before. So their bullpen is a little spent. but I did lay the minus 148 on the money line and played them on the team total as well.
It is interesting when you're looking at sort of the landscape of baseball betting that no runs first inning, yes runs first inning seem to have exploded last year. At least that was the take that I had. And there are a lot of veterans of baseball betting who say, no, this is not something you should ever look at. Where do you stand as far as this debate is concerned?
I mean, listen, people can bet whatever they want, right? Like, I'm not going to get mad at people. It didn't make any sense to me, really, why people were so infatuated with that market. Like, I guess it's like they must not like baseball that much, and it's just like an instant result, and they could go on with their day or their night. But honestly, like, as far as like that market goes, when I talk to a few sharp guys, he's like, all right, man, like whatever side's like plus 120 or plus 130, like go ahead and bet that side. Like, it doesn't even matter to them who's pitching. I mean, obviously the total matters, but like they're really just betting the price at this point, and like, I don't spend any time looking into that market.
No Nerfy? Yerfy?
Not for me. And again, like it's incredibly popular. And if people have found success betting no or yes, then good for them.
What about player props in game one?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a little hesitant to jump in before we actually see how a series is going to start? Because, and I'm asking because Jordan Martinook, he got a point in all 5 games in the last series.
Mm-hmm.
So is that something that you would look to? You think that can carry over, or completely different series? Let's start fresh. I want to see what their plan of attack is with him.
As far as I'm concerned, Brent Burns, the defenseman for Carolina, one prop bet that stands out to me is under 0.5 point at even money. I think, you are going to see some defensemen, certainly be offensively minded in a game like this, but it is entirely possible that this could be a low-scoring game one. I wouldn't put it past them. And if that's the case, then it's probably going to be your forward sort of driving the pace, so to speak, setting things up with the cycle. And that will be where the goals are scored. It's not going to be, with defensemen on the rush or takeaways in the neutral zone, things like that. I do believe that we're going to see largely disciplined hockey. And if I'm going to get even money for, say, under 0.5 point for a really good defenseman in Burns, I think there's some real value there. Even though the Canes are the favorites, I still like them. I think they are the most complete hockey team remaining. Defensively, they do a lot of great things in terms of ending possessions as soon as possible. They might be the deepest team as well. And yeah, Florida is going to be pesky. It's not going to be an easy series win for Carolina, but I do think the winner of the East, whoever it is going to be significantly better than either the Stars or the Golden Knights. And so, to me, Carolina just has the best path. I mean, you look at some projections out there, if it's ineffective hockey or some like that. Even though we have 4 teams left, some have projections close to 50% that the Hurricanes are going to win. And then you're getting them at 2-1 to take the cup. That's value, right? Simple math.